Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys, Cal and P. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Ready to rock.
Hey, today is May the 4th be with you, everybody. Get it?
May the fourth be with you.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. So
What about the always? May the fourth be with you always. Forgot that part, right?
May the fourth be with you always.
Yes.
so Star Wars is dropping this fantastic series called Tales of the Empire. The selector's going to drop the trailer so you can see, so we can tell you what we think of it so far. But all I gotta say is great vision, great look. Once again, Dave Filoni is just killing it.
Did you watch the Bad Batch? You finished the second season?
I'm almost done with the Bad Batch.
Okay,
I like the Bad Batch, so I'm all right there.
I'm not watching the Bad Batch because it's live action.
Wow.
Okay.
Why do you seek imperial favor?
Years ago, my people were all but destroyed. My anger gives me strength. It is that strength I offer the Empire.
Offer accepted.
Like me.
I'm here to present you with an opportunity, Paris.
Just be glad you're not a Jedi anymore.
Your path is set, Morgan Elsbeth. I will fulfill my destiny.
Mercy only breeds defeat. But I will help you overcome this weakness. Attack!
You said the Empire would help to change things.
Everything comes at a cost. My world has been burning since I was a child. You cannot stop what has begun.
Now you must face one final test. To join us. It is time you meet your new master. Long live the Empire.
Yo, loving it. I like this perspective from the Empire. I like the fact that they're showing the other side. You know, look, you know me.
The other side. You mean the villains, right? You mean the villains, right? Yeah, there it is. There it is. What if Darth Vader had done what he was supposed to do, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I see it.
We're looking at the so-called bad guys don't act simply just in pure black or white. There's a whole.
Here we go with the BS Gray. The more layered villains are the best because they have so many layers. They're not just being bad guys. They also like to drink coffee, and sometimes they have kids. They have reasons why they kicked their cat. Their cat got kicked, and then they had to destroy the universe.
By the way, I'm a cat lover, unlike this guy up here, Petey, who does not like cats. I think we need to.
I'm saying that this is what happened to Luke Skywalker. Like any bad villain, something happened in their childhood. They weren't the original Vader was one who was got seduced by it, right? Totally seduced. Look for the fast lane. We know people we just talked about that, and they turned it into someone that was downtrodden, forced, struggled, and then he became that. We don't have to.
He got seduced by it and he used it, but the reasoning behind it is just not simple. Like you just become bad. There's always
seduced is a word that's not. Hey, my life was so bad that I only saw the out was that. Seduced means it was attractive.
It was attractive as an option, okay? But it was a series of decisions that made him go down that road.
When is Vader going to bring back his mother?
So, again,
when did the dark side do that for him? That's what the sale was.
we're talking about characters in this. We're talking about besides what you call it, Barris was involved in the Ahsoka series.
Okay, yeah. Give us what's going on in this. What's going on in this trailer? Because it's pretty vague.
Okay, so one of them is Barris. She was a Jedi Padawan who basically, along with Ahsoka, they were friends, really good friends and stuff. And I think she also showed up in the Clone Wars. And what happened in this episode, in the final one of the final episodes of Ahsoka,
Clone Wars,
Clone Wars, that she got framed. Ahsoka got framed, and it ended up being it was her best friend Barris who was doing it. She didn't like the way the Jedi was moving. You know how they were doing and taking over more and becoming more militarized and stuff. So unfortunately, she tried to blame to protect herself. She blamed her friend. So she's in jail. So now we're seeing what happened to her afterwards. And it's really cool that I always like the fact when you find out there's a character and there's more to a character than just black and white. And this is where we're seeing where now because she made that decision, and then she made her friend Ahsoka, who ended up leaving the Jedi Order because no one really believed her other than Anakin. She is now going down the line where she wants to be, where she's going to become an Inquisitor, right? Who are basically the policemen who search for Force, anybody who has Force abilities. And the very fact that now you committed these acts because you said the Jedi was doing bad, now you're basically going to start hunting other Jedi. But I guess the final trial is that you have to kill somebody. So look at how low she had to travel to become what she did. Just because the thing that she did initially, she thought was right. That's what we want to see, how evil is created over time. It's not just something. Then, of course, we also see Morgan Elsbeth, and she's from the same race as Darth Maul. And when in Clone Wars, when her side is attacked by the people who ran the Clone Wars, the clones, she was like, all right, we got betrayed, we got destroyed, and now she wants to take revenge, and that's why she joins up with Thrawn. And we see her in the Ahsoka season theory. So it's just really cool what people are willing to do. Not cool, but it's very interesting what people are willing to do, the moral choices they have to make, and then the steps that it takes to get to where they end up being. No one comes up in a vacuum.
All right, so I have two questions. One question for you. I think one or two questions. All right, so if you remember the original Clone Wars that was on Cartoon Network, it was shorts, right?
Yeah.
And then it led to this series, the Clone Wars, that everyone loves.
Yeah.
Will you think that these shorts is a possibility if people start to love them, that they go into the Tales of the Empire and we get a whole new series, a whole new animated series?
Well, I think these tales inform the current series of shows that are out there.
Okay.
Right? So it's the other way. So we see these characters either from the end of the Clone War, but I think what these shorts are going to do is introduce these characters and explain who and where they are and how they got to where they are in the current series. So while we haven't seen Barris, we have seen the Inquisitors. We want to know what happened to her. While we haven't seen, we've seen Morgan Elsbeth. Now we know where she's coming from. And in the very fact, we've also seen Assange Ventress, who's another character who's probably going to show up too. So it's very interesting. And Cal, I know, so I don't want to cut you off, but this is the fourth, baby, and I'm excited.
Cal, what you got for this?
No, I see it all ground. Mars is the resident Star Wars guy. I mean, he really loves stuff. Full disclosure, he's read the books. Okay, he knows the characters. He knows all the names. He's read the major storylines. So if he likes it, then yeah, that's usually good enough for me.
So then I got another question. Why, every time they show Darth Vader, right? He shows up, there's like this and hum and this, that, and the other. Can we get some Darth Vader stories after Star Wars or after Empire Strikes Back? Can we get some stories of Luke, Leia?
I think they're trying to avoid that.
Animate them like you got the likeness of them.
I know. I think they're trying to avoid even. Darth Vader is. I think if you put Vader on, I think you blow everything else out of the water. Everybody's gonna want more and more and more Vader to the exclusion of the other characters that they're trying to promote. For the most part, they're trying to promote the ancillary characters or new people because there's a ton of stuff, and Darth Vader is just a slam dunk every time. I honestly think that they're, they're like, hey, we've got this guy in the pocket anytime that we want. We're trying to get these other guys up and running and make popular. I mean, they won't even do Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
I would think that they would want to do some adventures of Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi. Even if it's like new cast and was based on those Marvel comics after Return of the Jedi, which I thought were just the covers were so interesting at the end of the day, where what adventures they were having up until the end. They don't want to. I don't think they want to touch any of that stuff. They've really been trying to develop anything ancillary towards that original story of Anakin Skywalker and his family, and anything dealing with it. So I can't see them doing that. I mean, I would love it. I would love to see it, especially if it was based on. I mean, did you read any of the Darth Vader series that Marvel Comics produced since like 2016?
no, I've only read Vader's Quest. That was the only thing I read. That was from Dark Horse.
Yeah, I mean, the Marvel stuff fills in all that time. It's filling in all that time. That Empire, once it becomes Vader, Empire Strikes, stuff that we didn't see between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, stuff that we didn't see pre-Star Wars, stuff that we, between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The Darth Vader series there, really good stuff. I mean, really top notch. Easy to make a series. But then you have to, I mean, once you got Vader, you really don't need to develop anybody else, because that's what, I mean, I can't see them messing that up like they did Boba Fett. It's just, I mean, I really would like to hear Mark's opinion on it, but I just think that they're trying to avoid that because they really want to try to develop the rest of the universe. And, Vader is just, he's very, very popular. And I think once you start putting into him, you don't really look back.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, and that is clearly one of the, Vader is like their Spider-Man, I guess, or their, I guess they're Batman. And you put Vader in a title and is very popular. And any of his story is usually pretty good. So, and you've had great writers and artists on Vader. But I mean, they come out with other titles. Star Wars. I mean, I know talking from the guys at some of the comic stores, particularly like Midtown, they're like, "Yo, you put a Star Wars comic, it always sells. Eventually, if it doesn't sell right now, it will eventually sell. You always have Star Wars fans coming into the stores and picking these things up. It's a perennial favorite, and I think, we find out that Vader is much more than him and the Emperor are kind of at odds. But Vader's also killing not Jedi. He's killing Force-sensitive people because he doesn't want the Emperor to use him. So it's like bananas with what's going on, because they're both like trying to get the better of the other. But yeah, I agree. I think they don't really want to me, it seems as though they really don't want to use. They do have a story called Star Wars, the general series that has Leia and Luke in it, but I don't think it's it doesn't sell quite as much to me as Darth, from what I've seen. And this is just anecdotal evidence. The Darth Vader stuff, because they're constantly putting Darth Vader out there. They've started a whole new thing. I think Cal said the High Republic, to try to do a whole new universe, not universe, it's the same universe, but a time before the Clone Wars where they could explore, other facets of the Jedi universe and other characters and stuff. What we've basically seen in the 9 movies, that's considered the what do you call them? What's Darth Vader's last name?
Anakin Skywalker?
Skywalker saga, basically focused on one family, right? And so that's one of the reasons why the last trilogy, people were so pissed off when we found out that she wasn't a Skywalker or something like that, until the very end that she could be connected. But it's important to.
She's an adopted Skywalker now.
Yeah, but it's just like people have that belief that she came from these guys, and they've done such a terrible job. They killed off Luke.
Preach, man, preach. They not terrible, awful, horrible.
And the problem is the books have so much material with Leia and Luke that they've done so much stuff and characters related to them, and they just wiped out of that and had some I want to say weak directors just totally destroy the whole story. And I guess they don't really read these things, and we've said this before. If you don't appreciate the material before, how can you use it? And then when they do use it, they just totally destroy and manipulate it. But look, this is not a criticism of Disney. Just remember, Iger, that our resume is also in with you at corporate headquarters, and this is just an observation by us guys here. Okay?
All right. So I guess that's about it. I'm not going to get my splinter in the mind's eye, which will probably it'd be the greatest title ever. But
Great title.
No. I mean, I still hold out that once you can get other stuff up and running past the Mandalorian. I mean, because I thought they had so much. I mean, in this, they did the same thing with Marvel. They had so much goodwill based on The Force Awakens. Okay, The Force Awakens was not a groundbreaking film. It was pretty much Star Wars again, but it showed you the appetite that people had to see that, to see that universe, to see that world, to have that, to feel good. It's a feel good movie at the end of the day. And they were like, okay, good. What do you have next? And they just got, I mean, they allowed checking boxes to take precedent over writing a good story. So we got to have this in here. We got to have that in here. But the story's no good. The story. I mean, I'm probably one of the few people who saw. Who saw the was it the Last Jedi?
Yeah.
What was the one that followed? The one that followed Force Awakens, was it the Last Jedi?
Last Jedi, yes.
Yeah, I was probably one of the few people who saw it, and I was like, yeah, I thought it was okay. But my heart went out to anybody who saw that and saw Luke Skywalker in that. I was like, my goodness, these guys are not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy with that, and rightfully so. You wait decades to see Luke Skywalker again, and then that's what you're giving. This is the guy. He did all of that, and this is where he is. And it was such a cynical take on the character that, he's not going to be able to escape the tragic nature of his family. He's going to quit. He's going to lose. And then, of course, it's going to take Rey to bring him back. Like, no, this guy has agency all of his own, and he settled it for her. So I'm just like, oh, and they just really messed up there to the point that you had fans being happy when a film didn't do well. When Solo didn't do well, they were like, yeah, see? Serves you right. And then they kept on with the same stuff in the TV series to the point that you had a character like Boba Fett, who is a fan favorite character. Okay, one of my favorites. I'm looking forward to this show, and I was just like, good grief, this is bad. It was bad until The Mandalorian showed up, which made it worse, because when The Mandalorian showed up, the show was actually good. And I was like, okay, so it's not that you guys can't write. You're not writing for this character. It was bad. They had such a train. They had such a train that was already out of the station chugging along, and people were like, yeah, let's go. And then it got so bad, you got people like leaping backwards off the train, come what may, because it was just like, this is terrible. So
I don't know if it was that bad. I kind of like the Boba Fett, an old.
You did not. You're saying you like the last two episodes with
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that too. I remember that when you said that too. Don't try to walk back out of that now. No, but the whole idea is that you had a lot of interest. You had a lot of genuine interest by fans, and you had a lot of genuine interest from newcomers saying, look, I want to get immersed in this universe. And they really just let the bottom out. It doesn't make a lot of sense, especially since a lot of the stuff you have source material to carry you through. You didn't have to do this whole cloth. Even to the point where you have a series that was good, Andor. That was a solid series from start to finish.
Yeah.
And then Ahsoka Tano, Ahsoka was also a good series start to finish. And no buzz behind either one of them because so many people checked out. And it's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 good series before people check back in and think, oh, it's okay for me to enjoy this. So, my hope is that, when they can get the universe actually up and running, tell good stories, rather than, hey, we got to make certain that we check boxes so we can so we get the DEI that we're looking for. So we might get an exploration of the original universe and some of the untold stories. Like what's one? Like Rebel Heist? That's a nice 4-issue limited series. That's easy. You could just make a mini movie off that. It's Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, and the droids, and they're just trying to pull off a caper. They're trying to pull off a heist, if you will. Really good four-parter from Dark Horse. Easily adaptable. It's all there, just waiting. And, I've just never seen, these are supposed to be professional writers. They should know, look, we're trying to sell this stuff. What sells? Oh, hey, look, we got this right here. We don't even have to work as hard. It gives us the whole framework. Okay, it gives us the whole framework. As a matter of fact, it's better than a framework. There's a whole bunch of stuff here we can just adapt, and then we can throw some other stuff in for razzle dazzle, and we don't have to worry about it. But too much ego, too much box checking, and here we are.
Yeah. Oh wow. Peter, you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
All right, so look, we're gonna close out. Thanks, Kyle. If you like what you heard, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, spin around.
Thanks for the support, everybody.
Thank you.
Out.
Yeah.
We're still out.